Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Do Marketing Differently podcast presented by Go Rogue X. My name is Brian Fitton. This is a podcast dedicated to doing things a little bit differently, right? Especially in our marketing. So we believe that you should serve first, give value, and build your brand. And we talk about a lot of things on this podcast, but it's mainly to benefit you. And today we have a new segment, a new episode that we're doing, which is related to what's new this month. And so there are a lot of things that, especially in the social media marketing world and the digital marketing world, podcasting, content creation, all of that, all the things that we cover normally, it is constantly changing. And so we decided to give you basically everything that we can find, or at least some subjects that we can deep dive into of what is actually changing when it comes to these platforms, when it comes to software, apps, different things like that, to make sure that you are caught up on everything that you need to know all in one place. So if you do have some suggestions, please make sure that you reach out and let us know those, because we want to cover that stuff. So I can never forget my awesome co-host, which is Lauren Lewis. And I said that because I didn't forget you, Lauren.
Oh, you didn't?
I just didn't introduce you at the beginning, and I'm so sorry. But I wanted to kind of tee up what we're doing today, right?
Yeah,
it's a little bit
absolutely.
different.
Absolutely.
It's a little bit different. So, Lauren, so tell us, before we kind of dive into what's new and what's happening, right? We have a lot of really, really good stuff.
Yeah.
But we do like to have a little fun at the beginning. What's that?
Each week we like to talk about what we are obsessed with this week. So, Brian, what are you obsessed with this week?
Man, I'm going to tell you something. I was obsessed with this the last time we recorded, and I'm even more obsessed with it now.
What is it?
It is The Last Dance.
The Last Dance?
Oh, my people out there who heard that and they understand where I'm coming from. The Last Dance, it is the documentary from ESPN about the Bulls 96, 97, or 97, 98 season, basically the last time they won a championship with Michael Jordan, Phil Jackson, Dennis Rodman, and Scottie Pippen. And it is like all the feels to me, because that is like prime, like coming of age for me. I love the Bulls. I was so into basketball and NBA, and so they just released. They're recently releasing them in 2 parts. It's very interesting. So it's like a 10-part documentary series. I'm sorry, they're releasing them in 2 episodes at a time. So it's like 1 and 2 came out last week, 2 and 3, or 3 and 4 this week. So it's kind of an interesting way that it's like you can kind of binge a little bit, but not like a full 10 episodes, because I would have been locked away in my house watching all 10 episodes, because it is just so freaking good. So
Wow.
what an endorsement. Yes. There are a lot of people, it's kind of funny you put it out there. There are a lot of people that are like, yes, me too. Like people I wouldn't have thought were into that era of the NBA and the Bulls and that whole thing. But so much has changed since then. So anyway, but yeah. So what are you obsessed with, Lauren?
Mine's so lame this week. I'm just going to preface that. But it's been just more of a put your head down and work week. And so I haven't been exploring a lot of different, we talk a lot about shows, and I don't have a new one. I don't. Still liking Westworld, but that's, it is.
Yeah.
So mine is cheese.
What in the world? Okay. Hey, I like cheese.
I like cheese too. And so I've been trying to find things that are easy to throw into a lunch really, really fast. I hate packing lunch. And so Laughing Cow cheese.
Okay.
Have you ever
Yes.
heard of it? Okay. So I used to have it around the house, and now I brought it back. And I've realized I really like it. It's so nice to pack, but it's such a lame thing to be obsessed with this week.
It is. I'm not gonna lie, it's super lame. Especially after I poured out my heart.
I know, you did pour your heart out, and mine's cheese.
Out into, this amazing documentary. Are you talking about like the little round?
The little wedges.
Yeah.
They're not round, they're wedges. They'll make a pie.
But Laughing Cow does have the little round
they do.
ones.
I'm talking about the spreadable ones that are in the wedges that you put on crackers.
Well,
or
that does make a difference. So
it does. Hey, not everyone's going to be a winner.
Well, hey, you've been obsessed with Onyx Coffee too. We just did our pickup of Onyx Coffee.
Yes.
So we are actually in the studio today recording, keeping a good social distancing spacing
stay
here.
in your lane.
Stay in your lane. But that has, with Onyx, we've been supporting them too. That's kind of something we've been talking about this week. So we did get some Onyx this morning, and we got a coffee refill, which we needed. So
yeah, absolutely.
Big shout out to Onyx there. We love you guys. All right. So, hey, let's dive into the content. Let's not wait any longer, Lauren. So tee us up for this content. Do we have a quote today? We typically have a quote, but we don't have
I don't
this
have
is a new episode.
It is a new episode. I
all
don't
fluid
have a
right
great
now.
quote based on all the things that we've polled.
Yeah.
I do have a quote later for something specific that I found that is newish. And I will say some of the things we've polled, we're going to be talking about like new things that are coming in social media. I'm looking into more apps and everything, and they might be more like they're trending now. They may have been around for a while, or they've started releasing updates that have made the app more significant now.
Yeah.
So you might be like, well, this app's been around for a long time. It's not new. I'm like, it might be more new to me, and it's new to a lot more users because of what it's doing now. And so that's what I'm bringing forth today.
Okay. Hey,
Yeah.
bring it.
Bring
I like it. I like it.
So Brian, start us off on something that is new and exciting that you prepared for today.
Yes. So I am. I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle of being excited for this, but Facebook Messenger, they launched Rooms, which is a competitor now for Zoom.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for something that is maybe, I don't know if it's even more secure, because they're doing my research. There are people out there that are saying, hey, it's not end-to-end encrypted, kind of like a FaceTime from Apple, right? That's end-to-end encrypted, so very, very secure. But right now, it's not really something that, they're just launching it as of this week. They're just rolling it out. So I checked, even with my update, I don't have access to it. So not everybody has access to this, but Zuckerberg did make the announcement on their live stream about Facebook Messenger Rooms. So with it, there are some cool things that are actually incorporated with it. So they are specifically going after Zoom. So with Zoom, you can have up to 100 people in a room, but only for 40 minutes at a time, right? And so with Facebook Messenger Rooms, I'm going to get it down, I promise.
You got it.
You can only have 50 people, which for the most part, I don't know when I've ever seen 100 people in a room. That is way too many people on a call. And being on conference calls all day long, the amount of people that are unmuted and going and, oh, I'm talking now and now there's something happening. I mean, having 100 people in that space would be insane. 50 people is enough, I think. And I think they did a good job with like, hey, there's 50 people. We only allow up to that amount, but it's unlimited time. So technically you could just be in a room as long as you wanted, invite people and have people kind of rolling through whoever wants to be in there. So there is some security around it. You can obviously admit people in there. You can block them. If you did block them from your Facebook Messenger or something like that, like they can't even see or even try to access the room. So there's some security around it with that. Okay. As of right now, you don't have the ability to plug in, or we don't know, right, if you can plug in like external software.
Okay.
So technically, like with Zoom, you can run cameras. So like we're running a different camera setup here. We're actually using Ecamm Live, which is a great program, not even for live broadcasting, but even just for local recording. But something similar to that with like Zoom, you can use your external cameras. Right. You can use external microphones. You can run through a soundboard. They don't know if that capability is fully there with Facebook Rooms, but it is an option if you want to kind of dive into, hey, this is another platform to use instead of Zoom. You don't have to have an account with Facebook, which is really cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So they wanted to open it up to basically be able to say, hey, if you want to call grandma, like you basically can just send her a link. She clicks a link or text it to her, and she doesn't even have to have, as far as I know, she doesn't have to have the app downloaded. It can still work through a web browser. But that's a really cool thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And one of the reasons actually why we kind of stopped using Skype. So my wife does her podcast recordings mainly through Skype, and the amount of times you've had to say, hey, we record through Skype, I don't have a Skype account, or I haven't used it since college or whatever, man, it is just frustrating.
Yeah.
And so having the ability to say, hey, you don't have to have an account, you can jump in at any point in time, I think that's going to be a big win for Facebook.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you think now with the limited information, obviously since you haven't played around in it, that it's going to truly compete against Zoom, or do you think Zoom's still going to have the upper hand?
So they said there were 700 million people actively using voice and video calls in WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram. So they've also indicated that they want to eventually bring that all together to where there's one messaging platform for both Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp. So it just kind of depends on. I think that they have the clout to be able to do that.
Yeah.
They have the base already built. People are already on that application, so it's going to be just as easy to jump into those any kind of messenger systems rather than Zoom, which is completely a third-party situation, right?
Yeah.
Where there's not really a natural way to go into Zoom. So, but I do think, I mean, with the screenshots that they're showing, it looks a lot like if you've ever done messaging inside of Instagram, it feels very similar to that. So I think they are going to be somewhat of a competitor. What's crazy is Zoom wasn't a thing until COVID, right? I mean, it was, but not to the scale. Were we talking about this where it was like an insane amount of
it was
usage
like
now?
270,000 like downloads up to like I think it was like 2 million within a couple weeks. I mean, it was crazy how many people are now and how many people of all different demographics and ages are using it now and know how to use it. So when my mom is using a Zoom call, that's something to be said.
But it honestly, it helped push everybody into this new world that has already been out there, but now is obviously forcing them to be comfortable with. So
yeah.
All right. So that's my little thing about Facebook Messenger Rooms. So if you guys want to talk about it, let us know. We want to obviously engage with you. So if you have some more information, please shoot us a message because I can nerd out with you all day long on this stuff and want to. So let us know. All right. Do I go into my next one? I don't know.
It's new. We can rotate whatever you want to do.
Let's rotate.
Okay.
I've been talking a lot. I need an Onyx coffee break.
There you go. So for me, when I was looking at apps, we are really big about stories, working with our clients to develop really engaging stories. And we like to recommend a lot of apps that will help you create really engaging stories. And there are a billion apps out there to create stories. And so finding ones that have quality are hard to do. And so one of the ones I think I've talked about it before, got to play around with it a little more, is called InShot. Have you ever played with InShot?
I love InShot.
You do?
I do. Okay,
so this is an interesting app because it allows so much more editing capabilities than most apps. And so I think using the term timeline editing, so it allows you to, if you have done any video editing, you work in a timeline, you're able to add things on top, a music bed below, like all these things. Most apps will not let you play with that because most people don't want that. However, what they don't realize is that they really do want that to be able to choose what is available when. For instance, you might want to add a really cool sticker or text, but you don't want that during your whole story. A timeline editing allows you to say, I want it to play for the first 5 seconds of my video, and then it disappears. You can allow fades in your music. InShot allows a ton to customize. So like you can add your own music. You can even do your own voiceover, which is awesome. It also gives a great amount of special effects that you can do if you want to do some fun stuff, adding backgrounds to the background of your video, which is very cool. A lot of places don't allow you to do that. They just match the colors of your video and you just are stuck with that. So there's a lot of cool things with InShot that I really like. There are some limited capabilities, but I think for beginners, it's a great place to start to really add some engaging stories and really add some interesting things in there. The voiceover is the piece that I think would be really cool, specifically if you're doing a lot of behind the scenes to add in some stuff, some voiceover, some personalization to it. I really think this is a really good app that you should really check out.
So I have actually used it for screen recordings. So when I'm trying to do a demo or something of like, hey, this is how you access something on your phone or a certain app on your phone. So I'll start screen recording and then go through the app. And then you can actually, after you've done the screen recording, go through and add your voiceover at the bottom. Like a real simple thing. But being somebody who does video editing, like I appreciate it because it's on my phone. And it's actually easier to do it in InShot than it is to do a screen recording on your desktop, import that into Final Cut or Premiere, go through, find your recording on your, like the microphone on your phone works great because you can get right up to it to actually do the voiceover for it. So, and then most of the time, if people are if you're creating a mobile piece of content, people are going to watch it on their mobile phone and they're going to get the same experience. So it doesn't have to be like this quality of microphone or whatever to record, because that's how they're consuming it. So I've used it for training. I've done all kinds of stuff with that. So that's the stuff I've used it for in the past, but they have easy transitions. They have lots of really cool stuff.
Yeah, and there's some obviously paid features of that app that you can really expand. You can import a lot of your branding, your stickers if you have those. You can import, I think that's what I like, is that you can import a lot of your brand into the app so that it's really easy to use for a business. And I think that's a lot of these story editors that I see aren't really geared toward a business setting. They're geared toward a personal account or an influencer more.
Yeah.
And so I enjoy, especially a lot of the stickers that were also now like this, subscribe, and they had all of the platforms easily that looked nice, like listen on Spotify. Like it was like perfect, just
So
for what you're going
You're
to
not
do.
having to basically wait on Instagram to have those stickers added. You can have your own. That's perfect. Yeah. That's
So
cool.
I think it's a powerhouse of a video editing tool that's right on your phone. You should totally download it today.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to jump into my next one, which is Instagram Live from desktop. So that is something that they just, well, let me preface that. Instagram Live viewing from your desktop. So typically, obviously they've wanted to keep Instagram true to a mobile device. And so now recently with a new update, they said that you can view live video from your desktop. So if you're a desktop user who likes to, look through Instagram on your desktop, now you can actually watch live video, which wasn't the case before, which actually makes interacting a lot easier as well.
Yeah.
Like being able to actually go through and interact with whoever is on the live and like keep it up, because when you're going through on a phone, like you have to exit. You can't really do anything else.
Yeah, it's
And
really
so
true.
You want to be able to support somebody who's going live, and I think this is going to kind of change the live game for Instagram because, again, you have that ability to multitask and keep that going while you're also watching on Instagram Live. So, hopefully, though, this is the entry into what it looks like to actually to publish live video to Instagram from your desktop, which
Would be awesome.
oh man, I'm gonna tell you something. When that happens,
I'm ready.
people
for
get
it.
ready because it's gonna be awesome. So
It will be.
We'll do it. We'll do a deep dive when that happens and how to use all the stuff, especially Ecamm Live. I'm assuming we'll be able to do some streaming on that platform. So there are, let's just say, there are ways that you can, quote unquote, do backdoor live streaming from a desktop and all the things. But yeah, it's not. I would not recommend it, especially if you're relying on that for consistent content. So anyway, but
Well, cool.
yeah. All right, Lauren, what's your next one here?
All right, I got two here.
Yeah.
So film with two M's on there. Have you ever played with this app?
I have not. Yeah, I don't even know anything about it.
Okay, so it is more for your creative artsy types. It allows a lot of retro and film-like stories. So you can put a lot of templates. It's going to look like it's in an old film, or it's going to have a lot of the colors that would look like it's dated.
Ooh, yeah.
It's got like a film strip on a lot of them and the timestamps on like old. It's really cool, and it's definitely got to focus on for those who are more into photography and video. You're going to probably like this app a lot more. It's very controlled in the sense of what they have in there to have that concise look, which I actually really like.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these apps allow you to go crazy and you kind of can come out with a product that's inconsistent.
Yeah.
Whereas this app, if you were consistently using this app, you would have a consistent, let's say, an Instagram grid.
Yeah.
Because you could keep those colors pretty tight. But the stories that they have is pretty cool. They allow transitions between the stories, so you can build a series of stories, but then they allow crossfades and different types of transitions that make it very seamless, so it looks like film.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I think it's a really cool. That a lot of it is paid. You can do limited stuff with the free stuff, but I think it would definitely, if you're looking to really refine your feed and actually have these really cool, for your posts, but then also for your stories, it allows you to do a lot of different ratios on there. I think it's a really cool app. And it does timeline editing as well. It allows you to add music in there. And it's just, I was playing around with some video footage I took of my boys playing in a sprinkler, and the looks that it created was really cool, and it made it very engaging. And so I highly suggest this app, particularly if you like kind of that retro faded film look.
Yes. I will say this, word of caution. Make sure that if your brand is on point with this, then
Yeah.
totally use this.
Yes.
Or use it for your personal. Do whatever for your personal, right? But if you're a business, be careful about jumping into something that may not basically reflect what your brand core values are,
Yes.
because what you don't want to do is all of a sudden show up in the news feed with some really cool retro film
Yes.
aesthetics, but that really doesn't match who your brand is. So
Right.
yeah.
I think one way, if you didn't want the retro, they do have some nice coloring on there that you could use that's modern and everything, but the transitions piece were very nice. They were good video editing tools that was not flashy. It was very simple. And I liked that you could use to kind of do almost a montage really fast in your stories.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. All right, what's your second one?
It's my third one,
Oh, third
technically,
one.
but it's called
Yes.
a design kit, and this is my last stories app. I really like this one because it had it deals a lot with color, and it actually collaborates with another app called Color Kit to play around with colors and everything. It has a lot of brush strokes that are really cool if you wanted to actually write on your video or pictures, whatever. But it also allows graphic layers. So you can you can kind of layer them and push things backwards and forwards and everything like that, which is really cool. And then they had their stickers. I don't know what you would technically call them. They're real photos stickers,
Yeah.
They had a ton of those that like real ribbons that you could add onto the photo that look really good. And real stickers, like they look like you actually stuck a real
Yeah,
star
not like
sticker.
a gift sticker.
Right,
basically,
right.
yeah.
So it kind of added a really interesting look that it almost looked like you were scrapbooking in some forms.
Yeah.
But I could see like putting like a foil corner on things. Like if you did it right,
Yeah.
it would be very cool. I can see where you could do this wrong really fast.
Yeah. So it's kind of like the previous app where it's like, if it fits your brand already,
Yes.
then absolutely. So
Yes. So the reason I pulled these three apps is because it allows a lot of different techniques in there for those that are in more the creative sphere. For those, I think InShot's probably going to be the best for all around.
everybody, yeah.
I think a design kit allows you to get to a lot more crazy. If your brand has a lot of colors, because it's so heavy on the color, I think it's a great app for that.
Yeah.
For us, doing a lot of black and white, no. But I think it has a lot of editing capabilities. And I really encourage you to go out and look for apps that allow you to really push your video editing a little bit and grow those skills, because you can really add a lot to your stories to make them more engaging. Everyone can do a story, but not everyone can make a great story.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. And there's a lot of structure with that. Maybe we need to do an episode about like creating a good story, a good intro, middle, and then call to action. I mean, literally telling a story, beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah.
Right. And so, but I think you're right in that being able to create something that's engaging is getting more and more important as we go. So, okay. So my last one that I have, and I know you have a couple more. So.
Got two more.
Yes. So my last one I have is actually tied back to Instagram as well, but they did an update to push out messaging on desktop. So we talked about live, being able to watch live video on Instagram desktop. Now you can actually do messaging on your desktop as well. So again, if you're a desktop warrior who's out there who wants to engage with people, I'm telling you, being able to actually go on Instagram or respond to messages or reach out to people, this kind of opens up a whole nother level. It is kind of fun. They always talk about it, though. It's like everything's great until marketers come along and ruin it. So if you're out there, please don't ruin this feature and get banned and shut down. Which we should have had a disclaimer, basically. Like, yeah. But it is one of those things to make sure that whenever you are doing this, do it well. But it just gives you that ability to not have to live on your phone, because when you're on your phone, you can get distracted super easily. Yep. But you can obviously now engage with a lot more people and probably even do quicker responses as well in the actual Instagram messaging app. So the only thing that you cannot do, from my understanding and my research, is share to your stories. So there's a lot of times where you can share out of the actual platform as long as the content is public. So if somebody shared something to you, you can share it out of that. But right now they don't have that capability. I'm not really sure why. But it is from what we heard coming down the road. So cool. I think that, again, kind of like with the live viewing from your desktop, I think it's almost like they're kind of cracking the door a little bit, and then they're going to be able to actually open it up to do a lot more stuff through this. But this is the first step. So this is really exciting stuff, especially if you're responding to a lot of people during the day or reaching out to people, or, hey, thanks so much for, engaging with my content. I mean, this is just an easy way to be able to go through and actually keep that conversation going, which is what it's mainly for. So if you're a marketer, again, don't ruin this. Provide value, just like we talked up front.
Yes.
Serving your audience, giving that value, because that's going to build your brand. So, yeah, I'm excited about this. This should be good. So,
Yeah. No, I think it's great. All right. So I have another app. It has nothing to
Yes.
do with stories, though.
Okay.
Well, not that kind of story. So for me, I think in the age of information where we are constantly flooded with articles, and we are working to try to find new information. For me, when I'm prepping for a lot of episodes, I find all these blogs and then I forget, or I find these articles and I forget where they are.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we can bookmark it, whatever, but then you have this like sea of bookmarks, right? And it's just stupid.
And you can never find it after the fact.
Right. So Pocket is an app that allows you to, it's attachment to your Firefox or Chrome.
Oh, it is Firefox too.
Yeah.
Nice.
And when you're in say you found a great article, you can click on the Pocket corner and tab in the corner and everything, and it saves it to this app. So I can open it on my phone and I can I can tag them with all my categories. So I say, hey, this is prep for my podcast episode or anything. And then I can go into those categories, and it's got this awesome, it's so pretty. It's got all these nice icons and everything, and I can pull it up within the phone. It doesn't take me to a different browser. It's within the phone, or not in the phone, the app.
Yeah.
Of course, not my phone. And it's really seamless. And I really like it because I can save all these things. I can be really intentional about what's within my Pocket app. And so I think it's a great way to not be flooded with information and overwhelmed with all these great resources that people provide all the time, but a great place to categorize it and come back later when you're ready to consume that content.
Wow. Yeah. This is great for somebody who's very disorganized like myself.
Right.
So
right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I think it's pretty cool.
All right. What's your second one or your
This is my fifth one.
fifth one?
It's my last
I gotta
one.
up my game next episode.
Yeah. Bring it. Yeah. I've got a quote that
Okay.
comes from this. Yes. So, and then you'll like this.
All right.
Separate studies have shown that the average person is only productive for 2 hours and 53 minutes out of an 8-hour working day. This means you're underachieving for almost 2/3 of a full working day. Yikes.
I believe it.
Yeah, I really do too. So this is not an app, and this is for Mac users only. Sorry, other people. It's called Serene, and it's for your desktop.
Okay.
And what it is it's a productivity feature. It does a lot of different things, but this is what I found useful. Is you set up basically your goals for the day within this program. And then you have working sessions blocked off. Basically, the app is based on research that you're pretty much only productive for 45 to 50-minute bursts. And so it sets up like a 30-minute session. So today I'm going to be doing stuff in QuickBooks and everything like that. And so I set up a 30-minute session. And then you can choose within Serene what things need to be blocked while you're in this session. And so it will shut down certain features of your phone, well, actually your desktop, different apps and everything like that. And so within this 30-minute session, it allows you to be as productive, and it plays like peaceful music. It like
Nice.
It's like really like a sunset and everything. And it has a timer on your desktop showing how much time you have left. And it's really interesting.
Huh.
And so if you're really needing to sit down and focus, I could see you using this really well. I could also see forgetting about this a lot, but I think it's worth something exploring. I've seen a lot of apps that have these capabilities. But I really liked that this one was a desktop feature. I also really liked how intentional it was about your goals for the day and then blocking those sessions to work on those goals.
Yeah. That's huge.
Yeah.
So I mean, Lauren is all about her calming music.
Yes, I am.
And like her workspace, and so I could definitely see you using it. For me, it's the actual time itself.
Yeah.
That appeals more to me because
Yeah.
I'm like, how much time? Oh my goodness, time has already passed so long, and like making
Yes.
sure to get something done within a certain amount of time. That has been proven psychologically over. Good grief, how many studies have been done on that? Like,
Right.
I know that is an actual thing. So that's pretty cool. You said it was paid. How much is it?
I didn't look at. I'm so sorry for our listeners. I apologize. You can try it out for 14 days for free, and then
Okay.
it is a paid feature afterwards. I think it was a pretty low entry cost
Yeah,
and everything.
I'm assuming, yeah.
But I really did enjoy it when I started a session. You can actually also, it gives the feature that you can pause, restart your sessions for those moments where life happens. But I think it was really good. And I think also just thinking about certain tasks where I wanted to
We had our, so we're just going to address it.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys heard it or not. So Caleb, our guy who's recording this for us, who's doing a great job, by
Yes.
the way. He's digging into Serene. He's like pulling it up, seeing how much it was.
I was gonna try to find the price because I saw the app open.
Yeah. And it started playing the peaceful music. We don't
Yes.
have copyrights to that music, so hopefully we didn't play it long enough to.
Anyways,
It's totally fine.
so I definitely say there's so many productivity apps out there, and it's finding the right one for you that really works. But I was looking for one that would really help track. It does reports also on how well you're doing on that kind of stuff.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So I think it's something worth checking out for productivity. Anything that also will shut down certain things that might be tempting and everything to focus on, I think is really valuable too.
Need that for your phone, too.
Yes.
Yeah. So, hey, that's great. And then there obviously are other apps or features out there, like with Apple. It can show you screen time. It can do a lot of that kind of stuff. But this is big shout out to Serene
Yeah.
for having that ability. So make sure you guys go check that out. Okay. Hey, this has been a good episode.
It
This is
has.
our first one. Let us know how we did.
Yeah.
Right? Reach out to us. So you can, obviously, all the social channels, Go Rogue X, as well as GoRogueX.com. We'll have all the listings and links for all of these
Yes.
awesome things that we talked about on our blog over there, as well as the video. So you guys would actually be able to see us in studio if you're listening right now. So make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already. We appreciate that. That obviously is a big thing for us to be able to get this content in front of more people and be able to get you that content. Make sure you hit that notification so that way you are notified
Yes.
whenever we bring you awesome content. But again, let us know about the show. We would love to see whether we keep on doing it or if we just, everybody says, man, that was the worst.
Worst
You
episode ever.
guys need to stop doing that. So, and we will, maybe.
Maybe.
Probably not. But no, we will. We will listen to you. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week. Rapid fire time, Lauren. Let's go.
Last band or artist you listen to?
This is bad.
Uh-oh.
Tracy Lawrence.
Oh, interesting.
I get in my weird 90s country moods. Tracy, yeah, it is Tracy Lawrence. I mean, the song is called Time Marches On.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's kind of embarrassing a little bit, not going to lie. But I enjoyed that song.
Nice.
So, yeah. What about you?
Hosier.
Oh, wow. Haven't heard him in a while, or them.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
but
Anyway.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What was
Oh.
the song?
I was listening to just like the playlist from Spotify.
Oh, okay. Just
yeah.
popped up.
Yeah. And I just
Nice.
was really, it's kind of all my jam. I love that. So, yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
All right.
What is better, being organized or attention to detail?
Ooh. I think being organized.
Why?
Because attention to detail, but if you're scattered all over the place, it's like you're not really efficiently being productive. You are just,
Oh, I see.
yeah, you're just kind of paying attention to those details, but maybe you're only seeing half of the amount of stuff you could be doing if you were a little better organized. This is coming from somebody who's very disorganized.
That's funny.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. What about you?
I actually think it's attention to detail.
Mm.
So life's about the details in a lot
Yeah,
of ways. And so
sure.
paying attention to, like, in relationships, the small little things, I think pay out. And then I think with work, it's like doing a quality project, even if you're organized, but if you're into those little details, sometimes those can be the make or break.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Devil's in the details. Right?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
All right. Good.